And welcome to the elimination match here of Group A of the Alpha X Super Series Ultimate Showdown. As in the bottom left-hand corner of 2,000 atmospheres, dropped the series against Hero, which is not surprising considering that Hero in TVP is pretty good. 4-0 has already advanced to that playoff bracket. Looking to make a comeback though, it is Dream. And in the top right, from Dragon Phoenix Gaming, lost the series against Gumiho, was not able to hold on against the Cheese, but fortunately, I don't think that Dream is that kind of player. It, of course, is Rogue. And this should be a good matchup. Dream's TVZ is actually quite spectacular. Late game, I think Dream can definitely hold his own against top-level Zergs. I mean, I'm thinking back to about a year ago, there was the Dream versus Raynor series that was absolutely brilliant in what both players were able to do. The really amazing macro, the micro, went all 5 games. It was so close. I think that was really a showcase of how good Dream is and how good he can be when he's on form. And so we'll see if that can hold up. I mean, again, we're still kind of off of Katowice. It's been, you know, a month or so now, and so the players are starting to settle in, getting ready for the next season to start up, for, you know, the next set of tournaments to arrive. You know, we're waiting for the next King of Battles, you know, potentially maybe another Azus ROG. We're really waiting to see what is going to happen, how these tournaments are going to shape up. The Dream hacks, of course. And we'll see. I mean, it's really exciting. And so these players trying to get into form. And, you know, of course, with GSL, did just happen day one. I'm going to do a little bit of slight spoilers because it was Dream's group that did play in day one of GSL. So if you haven't watched that, just plug your ears, maybe skip, you know, mute this for about like 2 seconds, as unfortunately Dream, you know, did, I believe, lost his first match against DRG, managed to crawl it back, but was not able to close it out and did end up getting eliminated from that group. But still, Dream looked good, as the Reaper micro so far has actually been pretty decent. Manages to snipe there. I mean, 2 lings when 6 are built is absolutely a win for Dream in the early game. Rogue metabolic boost on the way, and we should just be seeing some pretty standard play from both these players. Quick 3rd CC. And looks like both of them going to be completely happy to just go straight to the mid game without any early shenanigans. As the Reaper just continuing to shark around and see what it can find. So far, nothing really going on for Rogue. He is just playing standard Zerg, which is going to be joining up and building a few more lings to try and push this back eventually, and then extending his creep all the way to his 3rd base. And of course, with the new patch, with the new changes, does change what Zerg are able to do. You can't really get the queens over here that quick. You don't want to get caught off creep if, you know, there's, you know, some sort of a cheese. It does mean that the Zerg actually has to be a lot more defensive early on with these queens, but you don't have the option of that transfuse. Although, of course, you are going to be using that energy for the creep tumors. Stay back, though, on the way here. Immediately going to be going into a reactor on the starport is Dream. Already got his Viking out here to clear out Overlords. Marines as well, going to be able to push this one back. And hey, early kill on Overlord. Rogue doesn't get any information for it. Has to build 4 more here just to try and get himself unsupply blocked. And so far, a fairly quiet start to this game for both of these players, as more Hellions have been added on. It is reactor production of the Hellions, so you're going to be seeing Dream start to poke in a little bit more aggressively here. Can start to try and take trades with the queens. Once you get up to about 6 or, you know, 8 Hellions, that's when you can really start to try and fight queens. But even then, these bad boys pretty strong. The queens themselves are trying to fight off creep here. Dream, not want to take the fight quite yet. We'll finally commit back on in. Does go into the low energy queen, which means that transfuse should be available. But I mean, yeah, can still just corner the high health one, and there we go. Dream, a very nice commit on in here. Is going to try and find some more damage. Gets all of the Hellions forward, and that's the second queen down. Clears up some creep. Is now actually going to try and look to dive on into the third base, potentially, but be pushed away. The movement was good from Rogue on his Lings, on his queens, to keep any more damage from happening, but another Overlord is going to get cleaned up. And so far, the start of this game, almost perfect for Dream. Does lose a singular Hellion to that dive. But still, clearing up creep. You get queen kills, you get Overlord kills. Lings are going to make their way across the map, though, and this third base is actually fairly exposed for Dream. Is going to pull away the SCVs, as the natural is also open. Marines now finally being brought down with Stim, but you just don't have a lot. And this counterattack is getting so much damage done. 9 SCVs fall. Dream, you never really want to let that much damage occur. I'm gonna be sitting down about 8 workers or so. 11 more drones on the way though for Rogue. It's gonna be going into the Spire play, and we all know how much Rogue loves his Spire. He is definitely very, very good with it. Centrifugal hooks on the way. But the 1-1 for Dream will be finishing up shortly as well, actually, right about in time for this Spire, when the Mutalisk will be, I mean, across the map. He'll already have it done. He'll have combat shields, potentially already have that 2-2 on the way, as Rogue is double expanding behind this. And I think Rogue correctly reading in this game that there isn't really anything that's going to be going on in terms of early aggression from Dream, but here we go, another Link counterattack right as the Terran moves out. Good stim back, and Stutter Step does actually mean that Dream will clean up absolutely everything. Doesn't take any damage there from that counterattack. Can now try and push out across the map. I mean, has 7 Hellions, 12 Marines. If you just want to look for, I mean, some morphs, get some Hellbats, Marines, you can actually find a very, very convincing push here for Dream. That looks like what he's planning to do. As at home, 63 workers now available here for the Terran. It's 3 hatcheries at a time, though, from Rogue. And so if you're not able to find damage with this push, then suddenly the Terran's going to be in a position that is so much harder to win from, where Rogue has everything to play for. And it's such a good macro position. This hatchery, though, should just be given up, because guess what? It's Mutalisk across the map. The few Marines that are out are not going to be able to stop it. As Mutalisk does survive, immediately that health regen going to come on through, and this mineral line is now exposed. More Marines just trying to find damage. The hatchery goes down across the map. As here we go, Banelings rolling on in. Dream, does he have the splits ready? I mean, the Banelings aren't even actually able to get on top of the units yet. The Queens body blocking a lot of their own units. The Baneling gets one good connection. The Hellbats are all going to be cleaned up as more Mutalisks have been brought in to support. They're continuing to camp the production back at home, as Rogue is just finding a lot of damage here with these Mutalisks. Only 4 SCVs have gone down so far, though, and Dream is actually in the lead of the SCV count. That is not going to be the case anymore, though, as this massive clump of SCVs is found. And these Mutalisks, at this point, it doesn't even matter if they die. They are finding so much damage, getting rid of the production. I mean, just stopping units from being brought on in. And now Baneling's going to roll on through, and uh-oh, Dream! It is just a swarm of Zerg, and GG. Rogue going to take game number 1. I was run to Blackburn for the first time today in Group A. Both these players apparently opting to say that, hey, we're going to choose this map. I think that this one's pretty good. And I don't know. I think it was probably Dream's pick, if I am not wrong in assuming that. So we'll see what he has planned for it. Is in the bottom right-hand corner from GGG. It is the aforementioned Dream. And the bottom left, Dragon Phoenix Gaming. I mean, the Swarm. He's so good at it. Just Mutalisks across the map, camp the production, bring in the Banelings and the Zerglings. Of course, is Rogue. In that game 1, I mean, that's just what Rogue does so well. It's, you know, it's not really that, oh no, Dream didn't play the best. I think Dream actually had a pretty nice opening, had a good idea for the push. And so it's, you know, it happens where Dream's trying to find that damage, eventually it gets cleaned up, and then the mutalisks across the map are just getting so much value. It's hard for the Terran in that situation to really assess what they need to do. And usually the answer is, all right, you need to get a few Widow Mines out. You need to hopefully, you know, group up enough Marines that you are able to eventually then push them back. You know, have your missile turrets up in time. There's going to be a factory coming out from Dream. It is just standard play here from both of these players. Although, yeah, just the 4 links coming out. So, nothing crazy. It's just kind of, this is how you open up in this game. There's not too much to talk about, really. But as we're heading on to Blackburn, it is an interesting map. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Apologies as I was getting distracted by a few things there. A few emails that had come through that popped up on my phone. I'll just ignore those. So what is there that you got here? Well, Blackburn in TVZ generally, I think Terrans have liked it a bit more. And the reason is it's a pretty open map, actually. It's hard to really find good bailing connections when you have so much space that's available to do whatever you want, to split your units. You know, in the middle of the map, you have all of this open space. Even down here by the slow zones, once you get out of those, there's you know this split here where you get your units divided, and then you're not really worrying about taking a ton of damage from banelings. It just means that overall, this map is actually pretty decent here for Terran. As Rogue gonna try and split off his lings, but this Hellion's actually just gonna get a lot of value as those slow lings try to catch the SCV. So already a 6-kill Hellion. This man, I don't know what rank he would have if we were looking at it from the regular view, but I imagine it'd be something like, you know, a sergeant, maybe a barbecue, you know, a middle-aged dad, you know, really good with that barbecue. As it's gonna be a fusion core from Dream. That will be the tech path of choice for our Terran player. It's gonna be battle cruisers, and BCs are something that we've seen actually a bit recently, especially from Maru. Has actually kind of gone back into battle cruisers, into that mech play, as this Overlord should die. Not going to be able to avoid the medevac with Marines in it. But Maru has actually been doing a bit of this recently, where he goes into battle cruisers, gets 3 of them, then eventually goes into mech, and just uses the amount of damage that he's able to get with his early Hellions, with the BCs, to kind of propel himself into an advantageous position in the game. But look at this, quick Overlord speed. Rogue gonna be able to find his way onto the main, and there we go, sees the fusion core right as it finishes. No chance to cancel for Dream. And so Rogue should know, hey, there's gonna be a battle cruiser on the way. Immediately the Roach Warren is gonna be popped down at 4:30, right on time for Rogue. And we should see additional queens being produced, as well as those spore crawlers eventually added on to help defend against this, as Marines are being loaded on into the main. So Dream gonna look for a little bit of pressure here. Lings are already available, so you're just gonna have to see the boost, the pickup to get away from that. And so far, Dream, I'm kind of poking and prodding here, trying to find damage, but nothing really coming together for the good game gaming Terran. It's going to be mech from Dream. That's 2 additional factories on the way. The battlecruiser about 15 seconds away from popping on out. And looks like it is going to be used to be sent across the map. I imagine also to clean up a few of these overlords, which Rogue has been doing a very good job of keeping spread out around this map where he knows he can. And there's no threat of a Viking because it was the BC opener. Finally, it's going to be brought on over. We'll be able to start to get rid of a few of these overlords. Spore crawlers being built. And really, I mean, Rogue should be completely prepared for this BC. There's no chance that it goes across the map and gets something insane like 20 drone kills, you know, or kills like 4 queens. That's just should not happen. As the Hellions gonna try and push on in, gonna get immediately blocked away But it's going to be a second battlecruiser in production. So Dream is indeed doing this Maru style of mech, or the style of mech that Maru has brought back and has been doing a bit more recently, which is going to be the 3 battlecruiser, just into straightforward mech. We'll see if he goes into Cyclones or if it's just going to be the tanks immediately off the bat. And it should be at least a few tanks. Usually, when you're going mech, what you're going to end up doing is you're going to build 2 or 3 tanks, and then immediately go on into your Cyclones if you want to be aggressive across the map. Alternatively, if you know that it's going to be a Spire, which Rogue has placed down, and I think as Dream you can assume, hey, it's Rogue, he's probably going to go for a Spire. You can go into your Cyclones or your Thors, as battlecruisers are just being a little bit annoying, not being able to find too much damage. But Rogue could continue to macro up, has +1/+1 on the way, Glial Reconstitution for those roaches, and it's tank production out from Dream, +1/+1. So on the way, and we should see this third battlecruiser started up very shortly now. The tanks are out. We're going to get 2 more, so going up to 4 tanks right off the bat to be able to defend. And Dream actually even setting up these supply depots, trying to get some scouting information. This BC actually going to be able to skirt by the Spore Crawler, but the Queens are all here, and unfortunately 1 BC does not beat about 6 to 7 Queens. As these Overseers and Overlords continuing to be annoying, just getting so much scouting information for Rogue, who, I mean, really just knows exactly what's going on. Is Yamato Cannon on the way, and Overlord does get popped. 2 additional factories being placed on down, but 9 Mulisks, and I mean, is Dream ready for it? Again, usually at this point, you built 4 tanks, you should be seeing Thor production. You should be seeing Cyclones. As finally we'll see those popped in, but you need some anti-air to be added on, but the Mulis are already out. That is the really scary part, is if the Mulis are already here, do you have enough time to build up a significant enough Cyclone count that you are able to handle this? I don't think so. So far, the 2 Cyclones aren't even out. They don't have Magfield Accelerator. There's no Thors. And honestly, these Mulis, without the battlecruisers here, can just get an insane amount of damage, as they already find 5 SCVs. Gonna be able to rack it on up to as now the Cyclones are here. 1 TP comes in from a battlecruiser. Missile turret trying to find damage, but already 11 SCVs falling. Another TP in from another Cyclone. The Marines being able to match them, and actually does a very good job of Dream at cornering these Mutilisks. Manages to get rid of most of them, but at the same time, it's going to lose 18 workers in total. Actually, more even going down. Roaches find their way into the 3rd. Dream is losing so much here. He doesn't have the tank sieged up. And I'm not even sure how Rogue actually just finds this damage. This should not happen. 21 SCVs have fallen. A 22nd will go down. And again, Dream had all the time in the world. He should have the units available to deal with this harassment. He should have had Cyclones out a bit sooner. He should have had Thors out a bit sooner. You always just get 2 Thors in case. I mean, at least that's usually what you see from these players in these TVZs. As now Corruptors are out, it is Roach Ravager, it is Rogue. I mean, almost at 190 supply. He's approaching max out. And of course, Dream actually does have a decently large army. And with 66 army supply, it's +1/+1 mech. Magfield Accelerator is gonna now done on these Cyclones. It's gonna be hard for Rogue to just kill Dream straight up, but he can just try and find trades. He can try and find damage. As these tanks all sieged up, but they're all grouped up as well as Corrosive Vials go down. Immediately 2 tanks fall, but actually getting a ton of value there with their shots. As Yamato Cannon goes off the TP away, both of the battlecruisers are going to survive, as all of the Ravagers are going to fall, but the tanks in turn should also not be able to survive. A good repair onto the last tank, as these Cyclones continuing to try and chase down these units. Just be annoying here with Magfield Accelerator. Damage going through for them is quite insane. That Ravager should... Ooh, doesn't end up going down. Friendly fire from the tank. Gets rid of the Cyclone, and it's going to be another remax here from Rogue. Going to be looking to try and find even more damage, but these Queens all getting extremely low. And they're going to fall. Cyclone Micro just going down here. I mean, Dream trying to find as much value as possible, popping another Roach. +2/+2 is almost done, and once that finishes up, this mech army is going to be a whole lot stronger. But you need that time, as the battlecruisers are being repaired. The Yamato Cannons will be available for at least the next fight. Cyclone lock-ons go down. Roaches are just going to get exploded. And now finally Thors are on the way. Vikings are being produced to help deal with the Corruptors. Ghost Academy as well, so it's going to be this mech ghost hybrid composition from Dream. And that is, of course, the strongest way to play mech right now, is with the ghosts added in on top. You can get your melee upgrades. You actually just get them the armor. You don't even need the attack, because the main thing you're using them for is EMP and snipe. You're using them for their spell casting. And these Hellions going to dive on in, do have blue flame, so well, they'll roast up the 3 drones that are at that base before getting corralled and killed. But it's +2/+2 mech. +3/+3 is on the way. Dream, this is such a strong army that he's working with right now. You know, sure, he's behind an army supply, but mind you, he's down an army supply against Roach Ravager. You know, against 11 Ravagers. That's 33 army supply right there, just in those units. The real thing that you got to take count of here is the base count. Right now, Rogue, he's up a base. A base. 2 more hatcheries are on the way. You have a macro hatch, a second macro hatch going down alongside what is looking to be the 6th base, or the 7th base from Rogue. And Blackburn, it's a map where there are 14 bases. 2 of them are directly in the center. If you can get up to 7 bases, if you can take one of those and mine it for a while, you are in such a good spot. And Rogue, already is starting to, maxing out, starting to build up that massive bank. As corrosive battles go down, managed to snipe off the missile turret. Cyclones being brought back over. A lot of value is actually being gotten here from these Cyclones. The battle cruisers as well being able to trade very, very well. Good corrosive battles from Rogue. Able to get rid of those tanks. 3/3 is on the way for him as well. +3 attack for his flyer units. These Corruptors, they're going to hit like trucks. As some great corrosive vials go down, actually sniped quite a few units. Good shot with the Yamato cannon. And 3/3 is almost done here for this mech. Tanks are on the way, and Dream is continuing to approach max out, or to approach maxing out. Now has ghosts added in, and suddenly this army becomes a whole lot harder to deal with as Rogue. Or, again, sure, it's only 3 tanks, but it's 4 Thors, it's 7 ghosts. And they're gonna have 3/3 pretty soon. That's just not what you want to deal with. The tanks, though, aren't sieged up, and the Banelings are gonna try and roll on through. Ghosts just backing on up, aren't gonna be able to tank up that much damage as the battle cruisers are continuing to try and fight the Corruptors. So much damage onto the Corruptors, the tanks being able to find so much value as well. And this was even before 3/3 was done. This mech army is just so hard to kill. And Rogue, sure, you're at 7 bases, you're at 86 workers. But I don't know if he has enough to do it. What is his tech looking like right now? There's no greater spire. There is a hive that has been built, of course, for the +3/+3, but Rogue right now is going to be relying on this Roach Ravager to try and find the killing blow, on these Banelings. The BCs are actually going to be suicided here just to try and find some value. Dream knows, hey, listen, this battlecruiser is not going to be that useful later on in the game. The Corruptors are just going to deal with it, and that's it. They're not going to have any value as soon as the Corruptors dive on top of them. Just managed to get a Yamato cannon, keeps it alive though, so might be able to get another Yamato cannon off. And at this point, of course, the battlecruiser has paid for itself. 23 kills on that unit. As now we're looking at ship weapons being added on, the +2 infantry armor for these ghosts. As Dream is maxing out, he's at 190 supply, looking for run-bys with the Hellions because he knows that he can replenish those units. Instead, replace them with tanks, replace them with ghosts. As Banelings rolling through, and that is a base kill, doesn't actually get that many SCV kills. Dream just lifts off. Another base is going to reposition it. Right now, Dream does need to take his 6th base. He's going to be able to do that, floating this one down to the leftmost corner of his side of the map. At the same time, though, Rogue is taking his 8th. Rogue is just looking to try and take up as much of this map as possible. The Banelings roll on through, but the tanks are already getting a ton of value. Ghost's going to look for the snipes. The scans go down. And look how many ghosts there are. 13 of them. The snipes absolutely shredding through those Corruptors. Of course, the Corruptors, You don't really need them this late in the game now. The battle cruisers are all gone. So they're kind of dead supply right now, and you see that. The Remax, 72 Lings and 8 Roaches. There's no Corruptors being rebuilt here for Rogue as Dream is continuing to push this. Does need to look for some repairs onto his Thors, though, that are all quite low health. The Snipes going down onto these Overseer cocoons. Actually, all of them gonna fall. There's no detection is gonna be available here for these ghosts. As more Banelings did roll on through, more Lings diving on into these bases, actually managing to pick up a lot more worker kills. Already finding 12 SCVs. Same time, Rogue denying the space with the creep spread. Corruptors being brought on over. It's at this point that you'd like to see a planetary fortress from Dream, but he's actually running out of money. Dream only has 49 workers, does not have a 6th base up and running yet. For Dream, this is actually starting to get a bit out of hand. Dream has not been able to expand as much as he needs. He has a really strong army. Don't get me wrong, Dream's army is absolutely insane. But is that going to matter? Because if he continues to take trades, he's not going to be able to replenish as quickly as Rogue, who's just continuing to try and push this issue with the Roach Ravager, with just the mass amount of Ling and Bane. And pretty soon it's all going to have +3/+3 as Carapace and ground attacks, melee attacks, are on the way. As here we go, the surround, looking to take out the 6th base of Dream and potentially just end this game. The Ghosts have to be split back. There's not enough tanks here. There's 6 of them, but they are not where they need to be, but there's no Overseers. The Ghosts all cloak. Self-detonations go up, and now Snipes coming through. And so much value from these Ghosts is being obtained. And as these trades are in no way even, Dream is managing to get the better end of them. Again, he has the higher value army composition, but he needs it all to be in one place. I mean, these 2 tanks defending the gold base are good. 2 tanks at the, this base, of course, are obviously good. But when Rogue rolls in, you need all of your units to be there. But these Hellions gonna be able to find a choke point against the Lings and actually get quite a bit of value. Dream doing a good job of that, and trades up as much supply as he can with those Hellions. But now more Banelings being morphed in, but for Rogue, that's it. That's all of his money. Rogue is now going to have to continue to mine out, but here's the thing, Rogue has a 7th and 8th base. Rogue hasn't mined his 6th. As the Mule Hammer goes down and you see Dream supply, actually, his mineral income just skyrocket to almost above 4K. But here we go. The Zerg's gonna collapse on in again. The tanks are here now, but they're all too far forward as the Banelings rolling through the Hellbats are being morphed, but they're all gonna get blown up as the Ghosts try to split on back, actually doing an extremely good job of it against the +3 armor Banelings. And once again, Rogue is not able to push in and kill Dream. Tank does get sniped. Changelings now being brought in for scouting information. As another Mule Hammer goes down, you're going to see these mineral patches start to mine out so quickly for Dream. But right now, all Dream needs to do is just build the strongest army possible. He needs to survive the next few waves. This battlecruiser actually managing to find even more. This is a 48 kill battlecruiser. That is actually insane. This PC has been alive since the beginning of the game and is looking to get even more value. His drones are going to start to go down. Oh my, this BC. A hero BC in this game. As, Ghosts get caught out, have to be evacuated. Dream, was he out of position as the Zerglings are going to swarm on through. The Ghosts do a good job, but they don't have attack upgrades, so they don't do that much damage. And it looks like finally Rogue found an angle, and he manages to clean up the entire army of Dream. And it was a valiant hold from the Terran, but it's not enough. Rogue is going to go on to the decider match.